Joining us this evening. I am B. This is the You Movement, and this is You Talk. Tonight, I have a very special guest all the way from Bali, which is like awesome. I wish I was in Bali. It's certainly on my one day I would love to be there list. So maybe she could share a little bit about living there as well. But this is Akasha Shell, and Akasha Shell has her own channel helping other people with their awakenings as well. And you can find her at Akasha Love on YouTube is her handle. And tonight, just like our last discussion that we had with Nicole, we are going to be discussing some of the highs and lows and life lessons that have accompanied Akasha Shell on her awakening path. So welcome, Akasha. Please feel free to give us a little introduction about yourself.
Thank you, B. So I'm really pleased to be here. Thanks for inviting me to talk to you today. So I am an Australian based here in Bali for the last kind of 10 years on and off. I'm a yoga teacher, meditation teacher, Reiki master, also tarot reader, artist and musician. Lots of things. And my goal with my YouTube channel and with my work really is very much focused on uplifting and supporting the, I guess, awakening and evolution of women particularly. That's kind of my heart's mission, let's say, with all the work that I do. Yeah. Anything else?
That sounds right on key and right on energetically the vibe of the tribe at the present moment in time. I was just having a conversation with another woman going through her own awakening and you know, the frustrations that she has felt on that male-female paradigm. So I think that this is perfectly timed, as things normally are on these awakenings. So I guess my first question is, who were you before your awakening, and what is it that like specifically propelled you into focusing on women's issues through this process?
Okay. So it's a long story. I'll try and be relatively brief. It's like I'm 50 years old, so that's like a long history. But basically, until I was about late 20s, I left Australia when I was about 26 with the intention to live in Europe, and I ended up in Spain. Just by some kind of coincidence. I just was attracted to Spain, and somehow I felt like my soul needed to be there. And so I was living in Barcelona, and I was studying international relations, a course in international relations. Sorry, yeah. International relations masters. And I was 29, and I just ended up stopping going to my course slowly. I started basically staying home, not leaving the house, and I just got into a kind of quite a depressed state. And actually 3 years before this, when I was 26, just after I left Australia, my older brother died in a tragic accident. So
I'm sorry.
I also had this really strong kind of unprocessed, I guess, grief there for him. But I just realized that I'd sort of had this low-grade depression most of my life. Kind of came to that realization when I kind of stopped going to my course and started staying home and by myself. And I just kind of understood that I had this low-grade sadness, just this low-grade depression that had kind of always been a bit there in the background of my life. And I just realized, okay, this is not actually normal. Up until that point, I thought it was just normal. No, I thought it was normal to feel like more or less a bit depressed half the time. And then I kind of got a download that that was actually not normal, and that I needed to do something about it, and that it was like urgent. Really, I needed to kind of urgently go and try investigate this ongoing issue. And so I just decided to basically leave everything. So I full on left my course. I left my house in Barcelona. I put my things in storage. And I went to Thailand, and I went to a monastery, and I did a Vipassana retreat, like a 10-day silent meditation retreat, when I was 29. Yeah, because I just was like, okay, this will probably help, at least if I can sit with myself for 10 days, get some instruction from people that actually know what they're talking about. Hopefully I will come to some deeper understanding of this underlying issue of depression that I've had for so long, really for kind of most of my life, I guess. And it really worked. It really worked very well for me. Like, I sat for 10 days, basically, 10 hours a day, sitting and walking meditation. And I got the instruction from the teachers. One of the teachers was an Australian woman, just by coincidence, at a Thai monastery on a small island in the Gulf of Thailand. And yeah, I was like, okay, this is all about, I have to learn about the workings of my mind. I have to learn about recurrent thought patterns. I have to learn about, why do I have those recurrent thought patterns? I have to dive deep underneath them. I have to basically become an excavator of my past and of my life experience until now, so I can really start to understand why I have been feeling like I've been feeling, and what to do about it, how I can change that.
That
So
must have been like a very profound experience. Was it full silence the whole time? Like, tell people
yes.
who maybe have no background in like one of these retreats what it's like day in, day out. Like, give us a day.
Okay, so yeah, full silence the whole time from day 1 to day 10. And the only time that you're not silent is when you have an interview with one of the teachers. So you get, I think, 2 interviews during the 10 days. You can ask for more if you want. And they basically just ask you how you're going, if you need any help, if you have any questions. Apart from that, it's full silence. So a typical day, you wake up you sleep in a small wooden cabin by yourself. Also, you cannot have any books, no music, no phone, no stimulation whatsoever, nothing. No intellectual stimulation is allowed. So you wake up at 4:30 and you go to the meditation hall. First meditation starts at 5 o'clock. Meditate for a couple of hours. Then you will do some yoga practice. Not all of these retreats have exercise, but this one had yoga for half an hour. Then you have breakfast around like 7:30, 8. And then you're basically back into meditation. So you switch between walking meditation and sitting meditation for basically the whole day until so the last sitting meditation session ends, I think, at 9 o'clock at night. And of course, then there's a break for lunch. There's a break for after 12 o'clock, you don't get any food. So only food is breakfast around 7:30, 8, lunch at around 11:30, because this is a Thai monastery and the Thai Buddhist monks don't eat after 12 o'clock. So we had the same regime as them. So in the evening, there's no food. You just have a cup of tea, maybe 6 or something. And then the last meditation session, like 6 till 9. Again, you might be 1 hour sitting meditation, 1 hour walking meditation, 1 hour sitting. And also each day, there's usually in the afternoon between, say, 2 and 3 or 2 and 4, there's Dharma talks. So the teachers would give us talks every single day, basically teaching us the techniques of the meditation, insight meditation. So there's a whole series of techniques to learn how to do this practice. And so they give lectures every day on the techniques. And so that's it. It's kind of 4:30 until 9, 4:30 in the morning until 9 at night, fully focused on learning how to manage your mind, body, and emotional states.
That's amazing. That's fantastic. And did that make, would you say that was like kind of the precipice for change into your awakening path? This is what kickstarted it?
Yes, definitely, definitely. Like, I think I was kind of, I think my whole life I've been on a spiritual path. So I'm a very spiritual person. I'm a Pisces. I've always felt connected with enlightenment, with this as a kind of a goal. But that definitely was very much the beginning of like, okay, I really have to focus on this. This is my life's goal, and I have to absolutely focus on this and work on this in order to achieve this awakening or this enlightenment experience. It's not going to come like overnight for nothing. So that was my realization. I was like, yes. And so then that did become my goal. And for sure, everything from that point on, so from 29 on, everything started to get better for me. And I started to just understand deeper and deeper and deeper levels of myself, deeper and deeper levels of understanding of my mind, my emotions. And yeah, slowly, I have been going through an awakening experience since then, I guess. So now I'm 50. So that was basically 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so then what have you been doing since in those last you said 20 years? What have you kind of describe your awakening process? Has it been like a continual things, ups and downs? Do you identify cycles that you've been in or stages that you've been in? Kind of because you've have a lot of history of that. So I'd love to hear your perspective of what the last 20 years has felt like for you, because you're kind of leading the way for a lot of other people that might just be starting down their awakening now. So what kind of things could they maybe be prepared for?
Okay, so yeah, definitely my understanding is that it's a spiral process. So you're spiraling out and spiraling in. So spiraling out, spiraling out, having deeper understandings about yourself, and growing and developing and letting go of layers of problems or traumas from the past, from either your life or your ancestors. And then you might spiral in again, and you might go back to, so it's like 2 steps forwards, 1 step back. You might spiral in again. You might go back a little bit to past states of mind, especially if you have not been maintaining your practice. If you lapse in your practice, I basically had a daily meditation practice ever since then. But there has been days I've missed. I'm not, I have not every single day since I was 29 have meditated. No, I've had days that I've missed, some weeks that I've missed, but in general, I'm pretty much meditating every morning. And I also started a yoga practice as soon as I came back to Spain after Thailand. I started yoga practice, and that's also become a daily practice for me now. So hasn't been every single day since the last 20 years, but now it's pretty much a daily practice as long as I'm in my regular life. But yeah, my experience is this experience of spiraling out, deeper and deeper understandings, and then spiraling in, and you might go backwards a little bit, and just a kind of continual deepening of the understanding of all of the causes and conditions, basically causes and conditions for your state of being, your state of mind, your state of emotions, your state of relationships, especially. And so just a deepening process of understanding that. And I probably 20 years ago thought I would get to a point where, okay, now I've got it, I've got the download, I'm done, I'm good, I can just float from here on in. But I realize now that that's probably never going to happen. It's like human life is so deep and so rich that there's always things you can learn. Okay, there's always things I can learn. I'm always going to deepen more my understanding of this awakening of being an enlightened trying to be a bodhisattva. You know, this is what the Buddhists call a person who's dedicated their life to supporting the awakening of other people. I kind of consider that that's my role.
Yes.
And it's never ending. It will just go on forever. So yeah, I guess don't be distressed, you know, if you are on this awakening journey and you have moments of amazing enlightenment. I've had those moments. I think in that very first retreat, I had an amazing moment where I just was kind of in very deep meditation, and I kind of got a glimpse out into the universe. I felt like I sort of had a glimpse of contact with God. I kind of got the download. I was like, oh, okay, that's it. I was in very, very deep peace, you know, but it was like a few seconds and then back to